I notice then more people show up, men, and the two women were in the other room. And I thought to myself, is this it? So I decide it's not for me. I go to the door, and the guy who had originally ushered me in, he said, "What's going on?" I said, "You know what, this isn't really my thing. I just, whoa, hold on." He's like, "Trust me, it's going to get a lot better. We generally get a lot of women to show up. Stick around." Dragging my feet the whole time, but okay, I'll stick around. So I go back in the room, and then I notice that a lot of the men from the one room had already gone into the other room, and that other room was dark. And so I followed them in. Now, keep in mind, the last thing I wanted to do was judge anyone, because I was there. So who am I to judge anybody? And the one observation I took note of, and it was just the oddest sight. The room was darkened, and I saw about 13 men kind of walking around, naked, with their erect penises, or peni. So here I was, and I'm fully dressed, and I'm surrounded by two women on the bed and men with hard-ons, just walking around. I'm not offended, I'm not homophobic. It's just an odd feeling. So then I thought, maybe what I need to do is shed myself of my clothes. Maybe I'll feel better. So I started taking my clothes off. And again, I just couldn't help but notice what a peculiar sight this whole thing was. And I just decided, I can't. And then I hear one of the girls say, "I'm not giving blowjobs. I have a throat infection." So there's that. Now, I hadn't committed myself to leaving. I wasn't disgusted. I wasn't offended. Just thought, So I put my clothes back on. I never had my underwear off. I was going there, but it just never happened. So I go back out in the next room, and I make my beeline for the door. And again, the guy tells me, it's going to be a while, but I guarantee you're going to have a good time. So I go and I sit on the bed, and I continue to watch the Laker game. And I'm the only one in there. So then a couple comes in. And the first thing they say is, well, they're exhibitionists, so no one's going to touch my lady but me. You could watch. So they proceeded. There were two queen-size beds in the room. So I'm laying down on the one watching the game. The other two start going at it on the bed. Well, this is really strange because I've never actually seen people engaged in sexual activity live. So I'm watching this unfold, and I'm wondering, am I supposed to be getting turned on? So nothing's happening. I take my hand and I start rubbing my crotch in hopes that I'm going to get a response, an erection. Nothing's happening. So once again, I should leave. No, don't. Then another couple walks in. And it's this man with a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots, and this older woman. She's in her 60s. We started engaging in conversation right in the hallway, or in the foyer of the room. And I just thought, well, again, not enough. But I wasn't done with the party. So I went back into the room, and the one thing I noticed was the smell. Now, it wasn't the smell of sex or the smell of fuck. It's lotion. And it's just permeating everything. And I just thought, have fun, have at it. It's not for me. So I go back out and I tell the guy, the doorman, I said, look, I'm not judging you guys. And in fact, if you have another one, let me know. Can't say that I would come, but, you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the night. Okay. Before I left, I walked back into the room. I don't know what possessed me, but I went over to the climate control and I turned the thermostat up all the way, the heat. I don't know if I thought I was being, you know, a little gremlin or what, and I walked out kind of giggling. So I'm driving home and I call my best friend and I tell him about it, and I said to him, this is not a story that I'm going to share with a lot of people. It can't be, because then it makes me one of those guys, right? But the one thing I said to him just kind of always stuck with me, and it goes back to that sense of self-actualization and what an arduous and multi-step process that is. And I said to him, I'm just not that guy, you know. I may not, being here in Los Angeles, may not quite know who I am, but I know who I'm not. And that was it.